Hi, I'm Leah Macfadyen. I'm a faculty member in the Faculty of Education at UBC Vancouver, and I am mostly involved in teaching in the MET program and have been leading various projects for MET over the last several years. I've formally been with the MET program in a permanent way since 2018, but actually I've been around the MET program pretty much all of its 20 years because in the early 2000s, I was part of a team led by Dr. Tony Bates in what was then distance education and technology. And I was watching him and his colleagues establish this groundbreaking new online master's degree. So kind of on the side, I got to see MET get up and running and learn about how the program was designed and how the courses were being taught. And then later I taught some courses. And then around 2012, I proposed a course with an international colleague, a course that is now our Culture and Communication course, 542. So I've been around the MET program and getting experience with the MET program for a long time now. You know, I first started developing my own online courses in about 2005 after I'd been doing research about e-learning and online learning and getting more and more interested in the potential for learning online and not just book learning, the potential to design online learning in ways that were really engaging and dynamic and sometimes transformative. And the MET program I saw at UBC as one of the very rare venues that was really looking for that kind of work, that was willing to experiment with new course design and try out new ways of teaching and learning, especially with working adults. So I wanted in on that. I wanted to be part of that ongoing work of experimenting with learning online in new ways and with new designs. The greatest transformations in the MET program have probably been our continuing experiments with different ways of engaging our learners in dynamic and sometimes synchronous activities. You know, in 2012, when I co-developed our Culture and Communication course, we included a small number of real-time small group seminars. And I think at the time that was the first course where in the MET program, where there was face-to-face, if you like, online face-to-face synchronous activity. And students were really excited about it. We crossed a threshold where everyone had bandwidth and technologies that would allow them to participate in these small group seminars. Now, many of our courses involve optional or flexible live sessions, discussion groups, meetings with the professor, and are experimenting all the time with new platforms and new tools that allow different ways of working and learning together. I like that. I like the flexibility of our program that lets us keep testing. Well, one of the other things I love about MET is that I personally really enjoy working with grown-ups. You know, I sometimes say to students in my courses that in a lot of ways I consider us to be peers rather than me as the teacher and them as the students. Most of our students are highly skilled, experienced professionals. They just have a different skill set from me. So a lot of what I get to do is engage with students in my courses at a high level, at an adult level, working with them with new ideas. And I learn a lot from them too. I learn about school systems in different parts of the country and around the world. And I really enjoy working with adults. Sometimes we imagine that the MET program might just teach our students a bunch of technology tips that they can then walk into the future with. That's not what's going on at all in our courses. I think we hope that we are teaching our students, who are educators themselves, a way of approaching technology that will allow them to continue experimenting and continue trying out new options as they become available, and recognizing that technology changes all the time. And here we are now in this really strange and exciting and interesting transition in the world of ed tech and online learning, in the just post-COVID moment where everyone has done a bit of trying out of online learning. And we're at a really new and exciting time where all of our educators are in a place to think really hard about what they want to move forward with. What have they learned in the COVID moment, and for our students in our courses, that they can take forward into their teaching that they wouldn't have known before. So I do think it's a state of mind, or a state of critical thinking, that we're trying to give to our students, rather than just a set of tools. I think one of MET's greatest successes has got to be that we've made it to 20 years. Look at this. There was such skepticism. I remember it in the early 2000s. Of course, most people, including senior leadership at UBC, had never seen an online degree program. There was then still a lot of skepticism about whether online learning worked. And here we are 20 years later, not only having survived, but having really thrived and demonstrated how well this can be done, how it's not plodding, read the book and take the test, and how people keep coming to us because they hear our applicants tell us that they're coming to our program because they have colleagues or who tell them how helpful it was or how great the program was. So, you know, we haven't just survived, we've thrived as a program. And I think that is testament to the early vision for how necessary this work is. I think one of my favorite things about the MET program now is that we continue to think about what's next. So even in the 5 years that I've been formally part of the team in the MET program, we have kept looking at the landscape of educational technology and online learning and asked ourselves, what are we missing? You know, what's happening now in that field that we really need to address, because our learners need to be able to think critically about it. So even just in recent years, we've developed and launched courses about climate science and energy, and how to teach those concepts using technology in the classroom or online. We've developed a course about learning analytics, because it's another big new area of work. There's a new course on artificial intelligence coming any minute. We've launched a course on disability and technology and ableism in relation to technology. So I think we have a lot of flexibility to really think on our feet and try and help our students stay current with the landscape.